Welcome to day 9. Today's exercise is going to be 16 minutes long and has 8 exercises. So we're going to do tapping. You want to fold a towel or just have something in front of you like a piece of tape or some type of target. You're going to shift your weight and tap your foot on it and then shift your weight to the other side and tap. Now, it's important that it's a tap and not stepping on it. A lot of times when I have people do this, they want to step on the towel. It's much harder to tap, and that's what we're going for, is a balance challenge. You want to keep all your weight on the leg you're standing on, but you're moving your other foot forward and actually doing something, which is challenging. It really takes a lot of extra balance to be able to tap your foot rather than push down and put your body weight forward. So if you can, just make a little tap and go back and forth. Now I'm not holding on, but you can definitely hold on and do this in the beginning. But you want to get to the point where you can let go. You can even kind of hover your hand over the chair while you're doing it. But try to get to the point where you're not holding on at all and that you're tapping right to left. Now if you're tired, you're welcome to sit down and rest a little bit. There's no reason you can't rest a few times while you're doing this in 2 minutes. I'm going to keep going just to demonstrate it, but your pace can be a lot slower too. You can kind of go at this pace if you want. It doesn't have to be a fast pace. So when we're following me with these exercises, you can rest as much as you can, as much as you want to, and you don't have to keep the same pace I'm going at. For most people, it's probably too fast. So if you're feeling better about it or feeling confident in your balance, you can go faster. I've had people even go at, kind of this pace when they're doing it. But for the most part, this is the right pace. Okay, we're getting close to the end here, in case you're wondering. And just a couple more repetitions. And last one. So we're going to step sideways over something. I'm using a rolled up towel. You can use whatever you want. The taller, the harder it is. I'm putting it on the ground. Both of my feet are on one side. And all I'm going to do is step sideways with one foot and step sideways with the other foot. Now, I'm going to hold the chair at first. If your balance is better, or as you get better at this, you can go to one finger and then no fingers and just have the chair in front of you just in case. Now, this does a couple things. It's helping me practice a really good weight shift because in order to bring my leg up and over the object, I've got to shift my weight onto the leg I'm standing on. And for a lot of people that shuffle or people that are having trouble or fear of falling, that's really hard to do, to shift their weight. So in a way, this is a good way to kind of practice it, almost trick yourself into doing it, which is what we all need if we're having trouble with it. It also works the muscles on the sides of your legs. If you're getting tired at all during this 2 minutes, you can rest whenever you want. You can sit down for as long as you want. But try to keep going for the whole 2 minutes if you can. Even if you rest for 20 seconds, then stand up and keep going with me. You don't have to do my pace with this. You can go slower or faster. And definitely if you're feeling strong, just let go. It's a good exercise. And I am putting my toe down first. When I bring my foot over, you want to bring your toe first. That's kind of what that big toe is for, is to help us figure out where we are in space. We're just about done, just a couple more of these to go. And I think this is the last one. So now we're going to do backward stepping. So you want to grab onto your chair. You're going to turn in one direction, and you only need to take 3 steps backward. Okay? Then you can grab the chair again, turn around facing the other direction, and then do the same thing in the other direction. Now, I'm only doing 3 steps, and that's because I don't want to get away from my chair. If you get away from the chair, it's more dangerous. The goal is to do this without holding on. So the goal is to be able to do this. Now, if you're struggling with your balance, that's going to be hard. You can put one finger or your whole hand on the chair. You also have the other chair just in case. But if you watch my feet, I'm not just sliding them, I'm actually lifting them up. That's part of your goal, is to be able to do this with lifting your feet behind you. Let me explain what this benefits. First of all, a lot of people tell me, I never walk backwards. I don't have to walk backwards. That's untrue. When you're getting ready in the morning, when you're cooking, when you're getting dressed, you're definitely taking some steps backwards. And there's been some research on this, and they found that people that never practice walking backwards, when they do walk backwards even a little bit, that's when they lose their balance. So practicing it is a great way of preventing yourself from falling and improving this skill. At any point, if you want to sit down and rest in these 2 minutes, you can. I'm going to go the full 2 minutes. I am lifting my foot and I'm shifting my weight. So I'm not just lifting my foot, but I'm putting my weight on the leg I'm standing on, which is so important. This also can actually improve your forward walking, because by doing things in reverse like this, it improves the opposite. We're just about done. And that's it. Okay, this is how to do pillow squats. You're gonna have a chair behind you. I have a cushion in my chair. You can put a pillow or anything you want. I recommend having something there so it's not as hard and you can do more reps. You're gonna sit down on that chair, cross your hands in front of you. You're gonna bend forward and come all the way up to standing. So this is kind of the hardest version of it. So if you're really strong, you can do it this way. You can also push off your armrests and help yourself push up. You can also put your hands on your knees and push up. Or you have the option, you could grab the chair in front of you and use that to lever yourself up. All of these ways are good. What really matters is how many repetitions do you do in 2 minutes. Now definitely, this also works your heart. So if you're having any kind of tiredness or fatigue or any kind of heart issues, go as slow as you want to go and take as many rests as you want. Even people that have some pretty serious cardiac issues, having them do in the course of 2 minutes 4 or 5 sit-to-stands, which can be a big struggle, is beneficial. You don't want to overdo it, and you want to rest as often as you can. And it's good if you can do them this way. It's more of a balance exercise and a strength thing. But you don't have to benefit from this. You'll benefit no matter which way you do it, because with your hands, you can't really push yourself all the way up. You still have to use your leg muscles. So it'll work your big muscles in your legs, your quads and your hamstrings when you're doing this. This is a squat. So they always say this exercise works all the muscles in your legs. And remember, you can rest as often as you want with this. I'm going to do it this way, and we just have a couple more reps here. Just one more really, and we're done. Okay, now we're going to do something called turn training. This is actually practicing turning the correct way. So watch me do it. You're going to face in one direction. I'm going to turn my foot all the way the other direction and turn. And then I'm going to do the same thing this way. Some people might call this an about face or 180-degree turn. I've got my chair here just in case. Now, if this is too hard, you could just do a quarter turn and then a quarter turn. But you'll notice what I'm not doing is crossing my legs. There's been so much research on this, and what they found is that when people fall, most of the time it's because they cross their legs or their legs are very close together. Whenever you turn, you actually should turn this way. If you ever watch professional football or soccer on television, you never see those people, the players, crossing their legs, especially if they're worried about being tackled or being knocked down. Crossing your legs definitely makes it more of a challenge to maintain your balance. And if you're worried about your balance, you should never do that. So it doesn't help to practice turning by crossing, because it actually makes things worse. The reason we're practicing it this way, now I'm going to do the full turns, is if you repeatedly practice turning this way, it'll become more normal to you. And hopefully when you're out and about, if you have to turn suddenly, you'll turn this way, which is a lot safer, a lot less risky of falling. It also is a good way to practice your balance, because you have to weight shift and do something else and swing your balance around as you're doing it. I'm going to go back to the quarter turns now. We're just about done with these. Just a few more. It's okay to practice the quarter ones, but the half ones are good too. And I think we're just about done. So now we're going to do heel to toe walking. I'm going to grab the chair. I'm facing in one direction, and I put one foot in front of the other, touching my heel to my toe. I'll take another step. Then I'll turn facing the chair, turn the other way, and do the same thing, heel to toe. I only think you should go about 3 steps. I'm in a very tight spot here, so that's all I can do. If you can go 4 steps, that's fine too. I probably could if it wasn't for that bar right there. Now, I'm holding on. The goal of this is to do it without holding on. You want to get to the point where you can go like this. You know, a couple of steps. You don't want to get away from the chair though, because you always want that chair there just for safety. Now, when I do it, I'm actually touching my heel to my toe. Even if you just get your feet closer together, for some people, that's enough of a challenge. That's good. Keep doing it that way. Like, I've seen people that kind of, this is the most they can do, because normally those people are usually walking with their feet very wide apart. So this is a time to just practice a more narrow gait pattern. Now, believe it or not, a normal pattern is to walk one foot almost directly in front of the other. You're not supposed to touch your heel to your toe when you're walking. But during this exercise, you're doing that because you're trying to practice with a very small base of support. And it is a challenge. You can certainly hold on to the chair as much as you want while you're doing it. But over time, you should start letting go of the chair and really trying to balance yourself without holding on. If you want to rest at any point, you can. You don't have to do it the full 2 minutes. I think we're almost done with this exercise. But you do want to keep trying to go heel to toe. Okay. Now we're going to practice stepping over something. I'm going to use this rolled up towel. I'm going to put it in front of me, leaving room for my feet to go. I can grab onto the chair and I can step right leg and then left leg, and then right leg back and left leg. Then I can go left first and then left back. Now, the goal is to do this without holding on, but it's perfectly fine to hold on with one hand. You can do 2 hands. I'm holding my microphone cord, but you can grab the chair with both hands. So this is first and foremost a really good balance challenge. A lot of people that are having trouble with their balance, they wouldn't dream of stepping over something. So this gives you a safe way to practice it, because you do want that ability to step over things. Who knows what's in your way when you're walking? And even just stepping onto a curb or a stair, you need this ability. But so many people are really afraid of falling and afraid of doing this. So this gives you a chance to practice it with a chair in front. And because I'm using a towel, in case I miss and I end up stepping on the towel, it's not going to really cause me to fall. Now, if I'm trying to step over something taller like a book or a step, that's a little bit more dangerous, because then I could stumble on it and it could trip me up. I do have a chair behind me just in case I need to sit down. At any point, if you want to rest during this, you can. This is a kind of a cardiac exercise too, because I'm stepping forward and backward as I'm doing this. You do want to keep practicing shifting your weight as you bring your foot forward, but because you're lifting it, you kind of have no choice but to have a good weight shift. We're almost done with this exercise, just a couple more repetitions. Okay, we're going to do heel raises. You're going to grab the back of the chair and both feet kind of facing forward, and you're raising up on both feet as high as you can, getting on your tippy toes. And it's okay to hold on to the chair. If your balance is better, you want to make it more challenging, let go. But you know the chair is there. So if you lose your balance at all, you know you can grab onto the chair and you'll be safe. Now, with all these exercises, I'm doing them for 2 minutes, but you can stop as often as you want. You can stop and stand. You can even sit down and rest if you need to. Try to get back to doing it again before we're done. Try to exercise for the full 2 minutes, even if you rest, even if you slow down or stop. And not everyone is able to raise their heel off the ground. I know a lot of my patients, when they do it, they're just barely coming up. If that's you, that's fine. It's still an isometric exercise as long as you're trying to raise up on your toes. And sometimes when you're really weak, doing an isometric a few times is how you can get that strength back again. Most people can recover their strength in their ankles. They just give up very easily and they don't try. The only way to get your strength back is to do repetitions and sets. So even if it's an isometric where you're just squeezing the muscle, just trying to contract the muscle, as long as you do that, for maybe 5 or 6 reps and then rest a little bit and then try it 5 or 6 more, you're going to see an improvement. And after a while, you'll start to be able to have that motion again where you're raising your heels off the ground. The higher you go, the harder it is. And if you want to make it more of a balance exercise, you can let go and try to do it without holding on. But it's okay to hold on with one finger or both hands. We're just about done. Just a couple more reps here for you to do. And that's the last one. I hope you found this video helpful. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this.